said. Happy to help, said Little Miss Helpful. She pressed the button to switch the candy floss machine on. The candy floss grew and grew and grew and grew like a big pink cloud. But the cloud was getting too big for the machine and it puffed out over the edges. Oh no. Ooh. Little Miss Splendid found herself completely covered in sticky pink candy floss. She was not pleased. Her hat was ruined. She was not pleased at all. Oh, there she is there, look, with all the candy floss. Oh, I'm so terribly sorry, said Little Miss Helpful, and in a terrible state of confusion she ran away, leaving poor Little Miss Splendid even more stuck up than she was ever before. Next, Little Miss Helpful went to the shooting gallery. Little Miss Helpful at the shooting gallery? Doesn't sound like a very good idea, does it? I think there might be another problem before too long. But at that moment, Little Miss Helpful noticed a very strange sight indeed. Mr. Lazy, the balloon seller, had fallen asleep. And Mr. Lazy had not only fallen asleep, but he had also floated up into the sky with his balloons, no doubt dreaming of beautiful blue sky dreams. See, there he is here with all his balloons. See, Mummy? But his dreams would soon be over. Little Miss Helpful didn't hesitate for a second. She picked up the air rifle and pew, 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 pew. She started shooting. And pop, 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 pop. All the balloons around Mr. Lazy's colourful balloon collection just went pop, 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 pop. For once, Mr. Lazy was wide awake and falling to the ground, and there was a big crash. And Mr. Lazy had fallen to the ground thanks to the helpful Little Miss Helpful. She'd only wanted to help, but look what had happened. Poor Mr. Lazy went home, rubbing his sore, bruised bottom. Poor Mr. Lazy. To cheer herself up, Little Miss Helpful went to the food stall, and all the best cooks in town had prepared food for the fair. Go and get me some bowls and cups, please, Little Miss Helpful, ordered Little Miss Bossy. And I hope that for once you won't cause any trouble. She's so bossy. But of course, Little Miss Helpful wanted to be as helpful as she possibly could, so she decided to carry as many bowls and cups as she could. Well, she couldn't in fact carry.
Oh no!
And a huge pile of cups and bowls wobbled its way, this way and that, and it was tipping dangerously. And Little Miss Bossy shouted, "Where are all those bowls?" she said impatiently. "What on earth is going on? I didn't ask you to do a dance as well." Poor Little Miss Helpful was finding it hard to keep her balance. She was dancing this way and that and trying to keep everything from landing in a heap on the floor. But alas, 1 bowl, 2 bowls, 10 bowls, and all the bowls and cups tumbled down around Little Miss Helpful and around Little Miss Bossy and broke into 1,000 pieces. Oh dear, dear, oh dear. And what do you think landed in the middle of the table with all the food? Oh yes, of course, it was Little Miss Helpful. Yum, yum. Gee, that is the best potato salad I have ever tasted, said Little Miss Helpful. You must give me the recipe. Everyone burst out laughing. Even Little Miss Bossy. And what do you think was the most popular attraction at the fair that day? It was Little Miss Bossy and Little Miss Helpful laughing at all the smash cups and stuff and food and everything going everywhere. Why? Little Miss Helpful's cups and bowl dancing act, of course. And that is the end of this story. The end.